Hey YouTube, Mark Hoffman here, and today I want to talk to you about the Spyderco Native 5 in CPMS90V. Now this was I'm going to say a sprint run. I don't think it was a limited edition. This was a sprint run by Spyderco in this teal blue color. Now, I have a Native 5 in Rex 45, and I really enjoy that knife. However, I decided to get this knife in particular because I had a Para 3 in S110V steel by Crucible, and the reason why I sold that knife off was not because it was difficult to sharpen, but I don't know if it was my knife specifically, but I just had some issues getting it to stay sharp. I was able to get it sharp, but just the blade itself wouldn't give me the edge that I wanted. And granted, I was using I'm using a Norton India Stone for all my sharpening, and then for my micro bevels, I am using the Spyderco Fine ceramic bench stone for my micro bevels. So it could have been me, but I have been working on my sharpening skills on the bench and freehand sharpening, and in other knife steels, I'm able to get a hair shaving, whittling edge. No problem with the processes I have implemented with this knife and others. I didn't enjoy using the S110V either. It wasn't too chippy, but I would get some chips every once in a while, and I felt the S90V was just a little more rounded. I wanted that edge retention, but I just wanted it to be a little more rounded off. And I feel this gives me a more balanced, high performance cutting edge. Now, Rex 45 is still a very good cutter. It's just I wanted something that was completely stainless to use. And so far, I have enjoyed using this one. Now, granted, I haven't been cutting up carpets with it, but I do enjoy using this steel, and I haven't needed to sharpen it yet. Now, you'll see here I have added a sharpening choil. I've been doing that with all my Spydercos just because I do a lot of freehand sharpening, and having that choil there enables me to keep a nice straight edge on my knife. And I don't get any weird shaping or anything like that. So I do that primarily for myself, and it does also help if I'm using a guided sharpener, which I haven't used a lot of lately because I just find freehand is quicker. Just for me, I don't have to set up anything. I just throw some mineral oil on my Norton Stone, and I just go. Of course, it's not technique I use. I don't use that technique. That is called Grandpa slapping his knife on a stone and trying to get a blade sharp. I've seen knives like that, and they're horrible. But what's interesting about this knife is not only that they chose to go with this color, but if you'll notice here, and I don't know if I can get this up on the video here, but there's a very light stone washing on the pocket clip. Now, I find that interesting. Granted, how bright this is, maybe they thought if we stonewash the pocket clip, it'll kind of dub it down. How do you dub that color down? I don't know. This is a great outdoor knife for me personally, because if you drop that, you can find that easy. The burnt orange, you could probably lose that, but this is very well rounded, and in appearance and in use. I mean, the hand just locks in, just really locks in. You've got jimping there, you got jimping here. For any type of cut or any type of hold, you can also pull back here. I haven't done that. I think it's really designed to do this, but it's a really great knife, and I prefer the S90V over S110V, but that's just me. I have heard people say no, S110V is the best. For me and my use, this is the stuff. I prefer this and S30V. And S35, I like it, but S30 for me is better. It's just, I feel like it reacts better to what I use it for. Now, interesting enough, this knife was, the native line was originally made by, I think it was, it wasn't Camillus, but it was originally licensed by Spyderco but made by somebody else, the first runs, and those actually were going to be sold in sporting goods stores. So this was originally going to be their like entry-level Spyderco knife, and then it actually ended up being a hit, and they changed it from the original 440C that it was to, I think it was 154. I think it was 154 or one of the older steels. I forget at this time what it was, but this knife has gone through 5 iterations in its existence, and it shows. It's so well-rounded. The original was really good, but I mean, there's a few, I mean, the jimping here has been changed. The original's jimping was almost like a gear, like it was really wide, and it wasn't as sharp here, and the blade itself wasn't shaped like this. This actually came down a little further. It looked more like a spear than this flat grind. So the original was different, but this knife is so well rounded, and for me, this size of knife is pretty much all I need for my cutting needs. Now, I do have knives that are a little longer than this, and I enjoy those, but this is really as much knife as I need in my daily use. But I just really wanted to talk about how this knife kind of came to be, why I like it, why I chose it, and I think it's worth picking up. I think this is worth picking up. If you're not too crazy about this, they do make the blue, the darkish blue S90V. So if you don't want this teal, go with the other one. But I prefer this because it's easier to see if I dropped it or if I was out using it. It's easy to find. So I chose it for that. And it's also a cool color. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a nice color. Great summer color. So thought you guys would enjoy seeing that. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, share it if you want. That would be awesome. But I thought you guys would enjoy seeing the Spyderco Native 5 in S90V with teal handles. If you enjoyed it, thank you so much. If you didn't, well, you didn't. But I appreciate you looking at this video either way.